You are not alone on your journey. Listen in to the Unshakable Living Show, Supernaturally and Divinely Unshakable with Lisa Beltz. Twice a month for your well-deserved dose of positive energy and your personal reminder that you are perfectly imperfect, and that's okay. Find your true calling and influence the world around you for the better with your profound gifts. Walk away feeling truly unshakable. Remember, God can't steer a parked car, so step on the gas now with Lisa and let Him do the rest. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thanks for joining us on the Unshakable Living Show, where we help you be divinely and supernaturally unshakable. And I have a real treat for you today. I am so pleased to be joined by the one and only Angel Queen, Angela Hoover. Angela, thanks for being on my show and welcome.
Thank you for having me, Lisa. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, great. And so we're going to go ahead and jump right in here. And so our topic today is finding your unshakable inner voice. And Angela is somewhat of an expert. I could really go on quite a bit about the different things that Angela does and has practiced and learned, but I'm going to let her go ahead and tell us just a little bit about herself and about her story of how she became the Angel Queen.
Thank you, Lisa. Well, I'm super excited to be here and to talk with everyone in your community today on the Unshakable Living Show. And I love all of the stuff that you do. And I think it fits so well with all of the stuff that I do as the Angel Queen. So I'm an attorney. And I also have this Angel Queen business. And the way that that came about is when I was a little kid, I had a bunch of imaginary friends. And it turns out that those imaginary friends were actually angels that I was talking to. And I didn't realize this until later on that I was actually talking to angels. And I've had this gift and I've been able to cultivate this gift over the years. And when I was in my late 20s, I got into a relationship that was great, I thought, but actually was terrible. It was quite abusive, and I sort of lost that connection. And I wasn't doing things like talking to the angels anymore, or manifesting my dreams, or even thinking about what I wanted out of life. I got into a place where I was like really dimming myself and dimming my light. And I got to the point where I just got tired of it.
Yeah.
And so what I did was I asked one question that I hadn't asked in almost a decade. And I asked the angels when I was in this relationship, I asked, should I stay? Because at the time I was in my mid 30s and I really wanted children. I still want children and I didn't have any. So I was thinking, should I stay and maybe have children with this person, which would have been terrible? But I wasn't thinking that at the time. I was just thinking I want kids and this is the easiest way to handle that situation.
Yes.
Or should I go and possibly be alone for the rest of my life and maybe, be in this terrible place of being single? And what if I don't get to have kids if I do this? So I asked that question. A few minutes later, I was outside walking my dog. I slipped and I fell. I fell face forward into my house and I hit my left hand, I hit my face, and then I fell backwards onto my right leg. And as I was laying there, I realized that my leg was broken.
Yeah.
But I also realized that my hand was hurting. And so I looked down and my hand had already started to swell and it was already turning purple where my ring was. So that was when I took my wedding ring off. And that was the last time I wore it because I actually broke my ring finger. So that was a pretty big sign.
It's a pretty big sign.
Yeah. And I decided, wow, maybe I should be listening to these signs again, like I was when I was younger. And that was really how I guided myself. And what really propelled me into everything that I was doing for most of my life until that relationship. And then I just sort of lost myself, but I found myself again when I
Yes, she
started
did.
listening to the angels, which were really my inner voice.
Oh, that's fantastic, Angela. I'm sorry that you broke your leg and your ring finger, but that's pretty much a real strong confirmation that they were trying to get your attention. What other kinds of experiences have you seen where your angels were really trying to get your attention?
They're constantly talking. Okay. I've learned now to sort of to use it in a way that's easier for me to handle. And I teach this to people as well. So everybody has this gift. It's not just me. You can
Mhm.
talk to angels. Everybody can talk to angels. You know, God was really clear in the Bible and in all of the religious texts around the world. It doesn't just have to be the Bible, but all of the religious texts that I know of have some kind of messenger. For
Mhm.
us, it's angels. And God was really clear that we can use those angels and we can talk to those angels and that he will use them to give us messages. So I think that it's really important that we actually pay attention to that because they're constantly talking. Now, for me, I didn't listen for a decade. So I needed that really big thing to happen for me to even pay attention to it. Because
Yep.
if they had just sent me the same messages that they had been sending for a decade, which was get out of this relationship, I would definitely not have listened.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Yep. You wouldn't have taken that action to do something
exactly.
different. Yeah.
And they talk in all kinds of different ways. It doesn't have to necessarily be talking. Like I have a friend, we have a mutual friend who sees messages in license plates. I
Mm-hmm.
never notice license plates, but she sees messages in license
Yep.
plates. Sometimes you'll notice a certain time like over and over and over again.
Yep.
Maybe you'll see
That's one of mine.
1111.
Mm-hmm.
You see 1111 all the time?
I see 1111 all the time. And then also 311, 811. And my big number right now is 34, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 834, anything in front of it, and then 34. So
Nice.
it's multiple times a day.
Yeah. Have you looked up 34?
I have, and so there's a couple of different interpretations, and so one of them is for me the confirmation. I used to see 1, 2, 3, 4 all the time, and I sometimes still do, which basically says you're taking the steps. You're starting at the beginning, and you're taking 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4. And so I have moved past 1 and 2, and now I'm on 3 and 4. So I am anticipating starting to see 3, 4, 5.
That is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just that confirmation for me that I am growing, I am progressing, and that I'm on the right path.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. And you know what else is so amazing, Lisa, is that you actually recognize and
Yep.
you know what the signs are. And that's what so many people have trouble with, which I love to talk about with people and teach them how do they actually see the signs. And my favorite thing to do is to say, make up your own signs. So if
Yeah.
you make up your own signs, then it's easy for you to spot them and to realize them.
Well, so can we ask angels for like a sign that is a yes and a sign that is a no, and maybe it's something that is a wait? I mean, how specific can we be?
You can be as specific as you want to be. What I like to say about signs is pick something that is normally occurring, but not so normally occurring that you see it constantly.
Mm.
Okay. So for me, a yes is a lion and a no is a snake.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I know. So
Yep.
I don't ever really want to see a snake in real life, but you might notice like a logo with a serpent on it or something like that. Or
Yeah.
somebody might post a picture of, oh, this snake was in my garage this weekend, or something like that.
Yep.
So when you ask the question, you're not going to immediately get the sign just like that. I mean, you very
Mm-hmm.
well might, but it
Yep.
might be a little bit from the time that you ask until the time that you get the sign. Just be open to receiving the signs. So, like
Yep.
lions, they're not naturally occurring in my world in Nashville, Tennessee all the
Right.
time,
Right.
but you know, I have a friend that goes on safaris a lot, and so he posts pictures of lions and things like that. So they can be things that you could notice, but it doesn't have to necessarily be something that you're seeing every day. Now, if you make it really, really, really specific, like a pink elephant with blue polka dots or something like that, well, you're probably never going to see that. So you're
Right.
probably never going to actually get your sign.
Mm-hmm.
But you might. there might be a video
Never say
made
never.
or a meme or something like that with an elephant with polka dots.
Yep. I know one of the ones I asked for one time was, and I think it was a white butterfly for a yes and a walrus for a no. And
Oh,
I never did see a walrus, but I did see the white butterflies, which was the confirmation that I was looking for.
there you go. And
So,
you know, also the biggest part of this is being open to
yes,
receiving the signs. Once you've decided, okay, this is my yes, this is my no, this is my whatever. And you can make a whole encyclopedia of signs for yourself if you want
yep,
that just you understand.
that's absolutely true. Absolutely true. You know, and I know biblically God sends us angels or messengers, and I think the word angel translates into messenger. And so they are divine messengers. And so they come with divine messages and divine encouragement. And it really is up to us to tune into that. You know, it's kind of the old thing about, you know, God, I want to win the lottery. I want to win the lottery. And he says, finally, you know, buy a lottery ticket. And so it's like, I want to hear from God. I want to hear from God. But we ignore the very angels, the very messengers that are signed to us from birth. I have two guardian angels that have been with me since birth, and we oftentimes discount them. So I know we've got to take a short break, Angela. When we come back, I want to have you talk to our audience about how to reach you if somebody wanted to engage. So let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have you share how people could get a hold of you.
Sounds great.
And welcome back. This is the Unshakable Living Show, and we are visiting with the one and only Angel Queen, Angela Hoover. And Angela, I know you run a 100-day challenge. If someone wanted to join your challenge, when is the next one, and how would they go about finding you?
I'm so glad you asked. The next 100 Days of Loving Yourself challenge is going to start on January 1, 2023. And the easiest way to find me is on Facebook right now. You can go to facebook.com/groups/the Angel Queen's Court. So the Angel Queen's Court is my free group, and everybody in the group can participate in my 100 Days challenge. This time I'm going to run it a little bit differently, and I'm going to send people emails this time instead of just doing it in the Angel Queens group. But if you get in the Angel Queens group, you'll definitely get the information about how to join the challenge. And right now I am working on to supplement the 100 Days of Loving Yourself. I'm working on the Angel Queen affirmation card deck.
Oh,
And
fantastic.
so what I've done
Yay.
is I've written a bunch of affirmations, and the affirmations are part of the 100-day challenge. And I am going to give everybody who signs up printable at home affirmation cards. So you can print them. And we've got lots of different affirmations that you'll get. And then I'm also giving people some blank ones so they can use
Oh, very
they can
cool.
write their own affirmations as well. And
So
we'll go over how to do that in the challenge.
just in case somebody's not completely familiar with what an affirmation is, can you read one?
Sure. The ones on this one, the best one, my favorite is I am confident.
Oh,
So
yeah.
a lot of times people need a little bit of help with whatever positive thing that they want to bring into their life. And so I feel like affirmations help that.
Mhm.
Now, not everybody is confident. I'm confident, you're confident, but not
Yep.
everybody listening is confident, and that's okay. So the biggest thing about affirmations is not just to say that a bunch of affirmations that aren't going to do anything. It's
Right.
actually believe and live the affirmation. Okay. So we are confident. You listening might not be confident right now, and that's okay. What you can say is, I'm learning to be confident.
Yep.
I'm
Exactly.
willing to be confident. I want to be confident. I am working on becoming confident, things like that. So as long as you can say it and mean it and really believe it, then the affirmation should help. And in the challenge, and I think just in life in general, I do things in small bits. Okay. We're not having, I mean, 100 days is daunting. We're
Yeah,
not
it is.
doing 45 minutes or an hour every single day. We're doing like 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes of something every day for 100 days.
Mhm.
They say, I don't know who they is, but they say that it takes 21 or 28 days to make a new habit.
New
So
habit.
we're just multiplying that a couple of times so
Mhm.
that we can make a really good habit of starting with an affirmation and starting with a little exercise to bring up some things so that you
Yep.
can move forward in a confident way.
You know, and I also used an affirmation. So I had read the Miracle Morning book by Hal Elrod. That's really how I got started on my serious personal growth journey. And my affirmation was, I am enough. And
Yes, I love it.
I faked it until I made it. You know, it took, and I will say it took me 4 to 5 months of repeating that and meaning it every day before I started believing it. So again, it's like it doesn't happen the first day. It takes repetition and it takes convincing yourself. So, you know, the saying, I am confident or I am becoming confident, again, you got to make a commitment and stick with it. You know, we talk a lot about intention. So one of the things I know you're really passionate about is helping people overcome negative self-talk.
Yes.
So kind of tie the negative self-talk into the affirmations, into finding that unshakable inner voice.
Yeah, so many people, Lisa, don't even realize that they're speaking negatively about themselves. They just say things like, for example, if somebody were to give a compliment and say, "Oh, hey, I love your shirt," and if you say, "Oh my gosh, this old thing, I got this in the bargain bin. It only costs 50 cents. Like, like I wish it was a different color," something like that.
Yeah.
What does that do? That, first of all, it's rude because it makes the
Yes,
other
yes, it
person feel
is.
bad about giving you that compliment.
Compliment.
And secondly, you're just speaking negatively about yourself and it's just totally unnecessary. You can be like, heck yes, I love this shirt too. I got it for 50 cents at the bargain bin, you know? So
Yeah.
there's just different ways that you can reshape the way that you're saying things. And really, the way that you say things are the way that you think about things.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have to reshape the way that we think about things in order to get that confidence and in order to get rid of that negative self-talk. Nobody is going to be mad if they come up to you and give you a compliment and say, "Hey, I love your shirt." If you say, "Thanks, I love it too," why would you wear it if you don't love it? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I think that a lot of times, women especially, are taught that we should downplay our gifts and
Mhm.
downplay our light and make ourselves smaller to fit into whatever box we're supposed to fit into. No, that is hogwash. We're getting rid of that.
Yes, we
And it's
are.
really important for everybody to see their value, because everybody has so much value. And there are so many women, especially, that just don't see it. So if we can work on that negative self-talk and make them aware of it, because when you're aware of it and when you notice it,
Yes.
you can change it.
Yep.
So when we change it, we can use affirmations and tiny little exercises that don't take a ton of time so that people will continue to do them. It's easier to make those small changes each and every day. And then by the end of the 100 days, especially, even by the end of the first week, you will see a very large difference in the way that you're speaking about yourself and also the way that you interact with the world. Because when you stop speaking negatively about yourself and when you speak affirmations
Yep.
into the world, that comes back to you. And you're really speaking your own true
Come on,
voice,
girl.
not some made
Come
up voice
on.
of something that you think it should be.
100% right. And you know, we talk about if you move a degree a day, and maybe let's even say you moved half a degree a day. In 100 days, you're going to move 50 degrees.
Right.
You know, that's almost, you know, being a math major is like you're going from, you know, parallel to almost vertical. I mean, that's 90 degrees. So if you moved a degree a day in the 100 days, what a huge shift you can bring about in your life.
Absolutely. I like to think about it like physical therapy, like after you've had a surgery or something like that. You do the physical therapy, you gradually start, and then you get a little bit stronger, you get a little bit stronger, you get a little bit
Yes.
stronger. And so that's what you're doing with your mindset, with the affirmations and with the 100 days of loving yourself. And some people are like, I don't 100 days of loving myself. Everybody needs 100 days of loving
Everybody
themselves.
does. Yeah.
I love myself a whole lot. Okay. And I am not ashamed to say that. And I know Lisa loves herself too, but we both still need 100 days of loving
We
ourselves.
do. We do. And we get so much negativity from the world around us. You know, again, there's a whole nother conversation that we could go into there. And so one of the most powerful things that I've learned over the last 4 or 5 years is to listen to how I talk to myself. And you've kind of alluded to this a little bit. And it's like, we are our own worst critic.
Yes.
And we would never talk to another human being, and particularly not a child, the way we talk to ourselves.
That's right.
No, that is so stupid. Why did I do that? Yeah, no, you've got to learn to kind of intercept and turn those things.
That's
and so
right.
again, the first step, right, is awareness.
That's
It's
right.
starting to pay attention. It's just like starting to pay attention to your angels. It's starting to listen to that self-talk and then choosing differently.
Exactly. And it really has to be a choice. And look, it's not that easy. It's kind of hard, you know,
It
to
is.
choose differently every single time. But if you choose differently half the time than
Yep.
you were last week, awesome. That's an amazing difference. And
Truly.
then you choose differently 60% the week after that.
Yep.
So it's always about making those good decisions and those good choices and just bringing the positivity into your life. And, you know, another thing is what I have found with my clients and with myself, and you've probably seen this too in yourself, is when I start speaking the positivity about myself to myself, other people seem to make that value exchange as well.
Truly.
And the value of the people and the caliber of the people that are coming in and, you know, needing services or needing help, or, you know, even in my law practice, like everything, it just sort of changes and gets brighter.
Truly.
And who doesn't want to have a brighter life?
Yep. Yep. You know, and a phrase that I received a year ago was, you get more of what you've come to expect.
Yes.
So if you expect things to fall apart and go badly, if you expect to not have enough money at the end of the month, what are you going to get? You're going to get more of what you've come to expect. And so as you start to shift your thoughts and shift your expectations and start expecting and being open to receiving better, you just get more and more better.
And that receiving part is really hard for a lot of women. And that's
I'm
definitely
still
something
working
that we
on it.
work on in
Yeah.
the 100 days, is being able to receive, just like we talked about earlier with the compliment relating to the shirt. You know, receive the compliment. Even if you don't agree with it, all you have to do is say thank you.
Smile and say thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. So Angela, we're coming down very close to the end here. Tell us again, if somebody wanted to reach out to you, to find you, to connect, maybe do an angel session with you, which I have done, and they're very, very powerful. How do they find you again?
Okay. So you can find me on social media at I Am the Angel Queen. You can find me in a Facebook group, the Angel Queen's Court. And you can find me on my website at www.theangelqueen.com. And if you do a /cards, that will put you on the list. So it's theangelqueen.com /cards. That'll put you on the list to get the printable at home affirmation cards.
Fantastic. Angela, thank you so much for joining me today. This has been a great, great program. I know our listeners have appreciated. I've already gotten a couple of text messages going, she's singing my song. So
that's awesome. I love it.
Yep. Yep. Thank you so much. And I actually get the pleasure of seeing you in person next week. So
yes, I can't wait for a huge hug.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. And I'll be back in 2 weeks. And you'll have to stay tuned to find out what my topic is for next time. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the Unshakable Living Show, Supernaturally and Divinely Unshakable with Lisa Beltz. Tune in twice a month for your well-deserved dose of positive energy and your personal reminder that you are perfectly imperfect, and that's okay. Find your true calling, and influence the world around you for the better with your profound gifts. Walk away feeling truly unshakable. Remember, God can't steer a parked car, so step on the gas now with Lisa and let Him do the rest.